Greatness is rarely achieved without ambition. By infusing class-based combat with parkour-style movement and full online integration, Brink establishes its ambitions right out of the gate. When these various elements come together smoothly on the objective-rich battlefields, they make for some exciting and enjoyable action. Unfortunately, it's rare that everything goes according to plan. Visual issues and online lag frequently interrupt the fast-paced flow, and problems with the movement system and the artificial intelligence can be downright frustrating. There's definitely some fun to be had in these frenetic firefights, but for all its ambition, Brink falls well short of greatness.
Taking a command post.
40 years ago, we started building the Ark. Back then, it was an experiment, a dream, a self-sustaining city of the future.
Your Brink experience starts with a choice. Will you fight to impose order on the Ark, a floating city that may be humanity's last refuge in the wake of global disaster?
We must save the Ark!
Or do you view the Ark as a prison, where authoritarian forces oppress your people and keep you isolated from the human societies that must still exist on dry land?
We must escape the Ark!
It's a dramatic choice, but ultimately a meaningless one. You can play both sides of the campaign no matter which faction you choose, and your loadout and stats are consistent regardless of which side you're fighting for. The one thing that does differ is your outfit, and Brink's character customization system has a great sense of style. The security forces have a tough-looking array of helmets and padded jackets, which contrast nicely against the makeshift armor and grimy gear of the Resistance. There's a fun variety of face paint, hairstyles, and permanent tattoos, but only one element affects how you play the game, and that's body type. Once you level up a bit, you can choose to make your character light, medium, or heavy. Lighter players are more nimble but have less health, while heavier characters move more slowly but are harder to kill. You can change this characteristic from the menu screen, and it's cool to play around with the different body types and explore different tactics. Light players can clamber and leap up to places that heavier characters can't reach, making them well suited for darting around the battlefield and peppering the enemy from different angles. Heavy players can hold down fixed positions better thanks to their increased health and bigger guns, and medium players are a versatile blend of the two. Creating diverse types of movement is one of Brink's main ambitions, and to a certain degree, it succeeds. Slide tackling opponents creates a neat hybrid of melee combat and gunplay, and making a nimble escape or a daring infiltration is exhilarating. However, your attempts at creative motion can be all too easily thwarted by inconsistencies that leave you running against a railing instead of leaping over it, or trying to hop to higher ground that you could have sworn you'd be able to reach. Brink's attempt to infuse the action with a free-running, parkour kind of vibe is intriguing but problematic, delivering both invigoration and frustration.
The enemy's taking a command post.
Brink's class system is more successful, offering a variety of ways to contribute to the fight. Here are the combat basics. Soldiers pack better firepower. Engineers can plant mines and create turrets. Medics can revive allies and keep them alive longer, and operatives can disguise themselves as enemies and scout the battlefield. Each one has about a dozen class-specific abilities that improve or add new dimensions to their distinct roles, and playing to the strengths of your class is one of the keys to success. Each class can do a bunch of cool stuff, and most can buff their teammates to make them stronger and more deadly. Administering a buff requires you to be close to your ally, yet trying to actually deliver one often results in accelerated, stuttering movement.
Thank you.
Buffs play a crucial battlefield role, so unfortunately, you have to get used to this visual oddity.
Stop the prisoner!
And alas, that is not the only visual problem in Brink. Even on strong internet connections, lag can cause the action to slow to a crawl, but even offline games have issues. Your depth of field often seems too shallow, making your mid to long range enemies look pixelated and blurry. The cool videos that play during campaign missions suffer some screen tearing issues that can hamper your immersion in this interesting world. Those intrigued by the setting will find the audio logs rewarding, though it's a shame they're relegated to a menu option.
I don't know if you actually want to hear it, but there's not much I can do about that, so here goes.
The setting does make for some cool maps that run the gamut from dilapidated slums to pristine government strongholds. Many maps have a decent amount of alternate routes that encourage creative movement, but they don't always make good use of space. Each conflict is structured as a series of objectives that take place at specific points in the level. Some objectives have multiple approaches and make for dynamic conflicts, but others devolve into pitched firefights around a choke point. These entrenched battles can be a slog, but there are generally a few ways to support the team in addition to pursuing the main objective, like capturing command points that buff your allies and allow you to change classes mid-match. You can also change your loadout to adapt to the current battleground, switching among a good variety of rifles, shotguns, SMGs, grenade launchers, miniguns, and more. Almost every gun can be enhanced with a substantial variety of attachments, but the only way to improve your arsenal is to complete challenges. Challenges are good training grounds that highlight different battlefield skills, but they can be quite difficult. Though you can play these cooperatively, going solo is the surest way to earn those unlocks.
Final one.
One particular challenge gives you some helpful AI squad mates, but on the whole, both ally and enemy AI are one of Brink's weakest points. Computer-controlled characters don't behave realistically. Instead, they are mercurial soldiers who will run into the battleground and do nothing 1 minute, then snipe you with uncanny accuracy the next. Online matches often have enough human players to keep the AI's faults at bay, but having such problematic artificial intelligence can make Brink's battlefields much less immersive and much more frustrating. Dealing with such problems is the unfortunate reality of playing Brink. For every element that creates intriguing dynamics or grants fun powers, there's something flawed in its execution that hampers your fun. Brink doesn't make it easy to have a satisfying experience, and though the action can be engaging, you'll be weathering significant problems to get your money's worth.
I'm changing mag!